On this episode of The Failure Report, we examine how Jeremy Anderson went from being on a path to prison to becoming an internationally acclaimed motivational speaker that helps youth choose the right path. Jeremy Anderson, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Yes, absolutely.
I have known you since high school.
Yes.
And so to watch where you are today is absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan. I follow you on all the platforms, which I will link below.
Okay.
But I've watched you be able to move through life. And it's been an honor. It's been an honor just to say that I know you.
Wow.
And so we're
Likewise.
here in your stage at a school auditorium where you do your life's work. And so I really want to talk about what that life's work is like. What are you doing today? Who were you? Who are you? All those things. So I want to start with the big fat general question. Jeremy Anderson, who are you?
I would probably say a servant to the people, right? So when I say a servant to the people, I serve people by the books I write, the curriculums that our company creates, the public speaking that I do, whether I'm in a church or a university or a high school or a company, I'm a servant to the people. Like I wake up every single day and I ask myself, how can I add value? How can I serve them? How can I improve the lives of others?
That's amazing.
Because I wasn't always in this place.
No, right. Because I'm like, wow, that's really fantastic. Because that's not who I knew you to be for so many years. So to hear you say that, I really would love to know kind of what brought you to that point. There's always a point where someone wakes up and says, I want to serve individuals from being somebody that, unfortunately, and I hope you don't take offense, that was more self-serving. How did you get to this point? And I know that there's a failure report behind that.
Absolutely.
What brought you to a point where you said, I want to serve others? And when did that happen? How old were you? Because you're still very young. I know, we look like this.
Oh, for sure.
But I still consider us to be very young.
Absolutely.
When did that happen?
So that's a loaded question, but I'll say this before we get to the super failure reports, because I have a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But there was a pivotal moment where this woman asked me, she was a member of our church in Huntsville, and she said, Jeremy, will you come to my middle school and speak?
Wow.
It's career day. I said, sure. Now by then I got the degrees and was traveling and speaking a little bit, wrote in the first book or two. I went and spoke, and afterwards all the kids walked out high-fiving, hugs and stuff. This little girl, red hair and freckles, broke down crying. Wrapped her arms around me and just it took me 2 minutes to calm her down.
Joint Effort Business and Marketing Consulting specializes in finding solutions for startups, small businesses, and nonprofits. We offer branding, marketing, social media management, development, and capacity building consulting services to companies who are just starting out or need help taking their business to the next level. Please contact us online for a consultation at jointeffortllc.com or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Joint Effort LLC.
You know what she said? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like, thank me for what? She was like, you just saved my life. You just saved my life.
Wow.
I'm thinking okay.
Right.
She was like, I had planned on committing suicide. Came to school with the plan. She was like, I'm dealing with some stuff at home. I can't take it up. I'm done. But she was like, I came to school. They caught me going out the back door. They made me come to the stupid assembly.
Wow.
And I'm so glad I did. Now I want to live and I'm going to make you proud. So now, of course, my allergies kicking in. I'm thinking wow. And I went home and told Tracy. I said, boo, there's a calling for me to shift. I'm gonna leave Wyotech and I'm gonna be a speaker. There's something inside me, all my pain, all my failures, all my struggles would enhance the lives of other people, and I gotta share it. Because in this world we live in, everybody's on social media, living my best life, but they're not always talking about the pain, the struggle, the hardships. So I was like, I have something inside me, and I went through all that pain so that others don't have to.
That's it.
So that was kind of like the catalyst, what makes us walk away from our careers to go all in.
To go all in. And that's so interesting because that's the whole premise of the failure report. It's that you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from my failures. You do not have to make your own. And so that's what you get to do in auditoriums like this every single day.
Absolutely.
You say, these are the things that I've done. These are the missteps that I've made. These are things I wish I could take back, but I can't. But learn from me and be better.
And be better.
I got to hear you say that your parents built their first house at 40. You built your first house in your 30s. And you're like, my daughter's going to build her first house in her 20s. I know she is. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's about, right? You know what I mean? My ceiling should be your floor. You know what I mean? You should be able to do more than that. And that's what you get the honor to do every day. That's amazing. What an amazing job.
And it's fun, but it was very painful.
I bet.
Because when I first quit my job, I told my wife, and she was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And we had just given birth to Jewel. We got a newborn. She's like,
oh, wait, you just had a baby?
I just had a baby. And she was like, so I'm supposed to just work and take care of her and you get to travel? She's like, nah, player. It ain't going down like that. I said, what you mean? She's like, I'm quitting my job too. And I was like, And she worked for the government. She worked for the arsenal.
Right.
She had a defense contractor with NASA. Like, she was doing well. Right. Her salary alone would have took care of us as I built this business. Right. She's like, I know you. You be all over the place. Right. We're going to figure this thing out, succeed or fail together. And I said, wow.
Has it always been that side-by-side walk, you know?
Always, but it's also been that side-by-side bumping heads. Because we're opposites.
Right.
And that's when our marriage really got tested.
Really?
Oh, I was like, oh, I love you too. We had little heart eyes.
Yeah.
But when we walked away from our careers, we had a nice savings. But guess what? You still got to pay the mortgage. Still got to pay the car note. Mm-hmm. And then we got to get our own separate insurance.
Now you have a baby.
Right. Yeah. And so that savings was gone. Then we had to tap into our retirement.
Wow.
Then when we took all of that, then we had to go to our 401k.
Wow.
Now we're at a point now, if I don't speak, I don't eat. And this doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. I've got degrees now. Mm-hmm. We built a house. Right. We're both successful. Right. But now we're like struggling to survive. Yeah. And that can weigh on any marriage.
Sure.
And so there were some adjustments we had to make. We had to get marriage counseling. We just kept fighting.
Yeah, and fought for it.
Yeah, and when all the failures, we began to like fail forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got that. So everybody's gonna fail, you know what I'm saying? But you fail, you fall forward as opposed to backwards.
Yeah.
And we began to support each other. And now we're on the other side.
They're on the other side of it. Yeah. Because I've heard you speak a lot about mental health. You know, you just said that you all have been through 3 counselors.
Yes.
There's a lot of shame associated with having to seek help, you know, especially whenever it's something as in marriage. And then there's another layer of being a man. Right. I'm supposed to be your provider, your protector, your confidant. Right. I'm supposed to be able to make sure everything is okay. Right. What made you say, it's not okay, I don't know how to fix it, we need to go and seek therapy? What happened?
Well, we took a vow. We said till death do us part. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, you ain't happy, I ain't happy, but we both still alive.
Leading in Color is a podcast hosted by Dion Stokes, founder of Joint Effort, Business Marketing Consulting, and me, Marta Miranda-Stroud, founder of Catapult Now, an organization and leadership development and training firm. We thrive on engaging in raw, courageous conversations and topics that unpack systems of oppression that impact leaders at the margins of white, patriarchal culture.
So I went to the protest, and when I went to the protest, there weren't a lot of white faces in the crowd. And I thought, what's wrong with this scenario? Because, you know, people have been organizing around all these issues, and in the white activist community, there was this question, why don't black people join our movements?
Right, as opposed to, why aren't we at the table in their movement? We are passionate about naming and dismantling the barriers of implicit bias, raising consciousness, and forging new ways to think about leadership that does not replicate power over others and create transformational leadership models based on systems of liberation. Join Leading in Color. Join the revolution.
It gotta work. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm thinking like, ain't nobody else, Jewel ain't finna be calling nobody else daddy. And so I realized like we need help. Mm-hmm. And then it dawned on me, everybody gets help.
Everybody.
LeBron James is not just super amazing because he goes to the gym. He's got so many trainers and people who help him.
Yeah.
You best believe Oprah Winfrey has a super support team.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff Bezos, like he's got people he can sit with. You think Ayanna, you know what I'm saying, from Ayanna Fix My Life, you think she don't have somebody that she can confide with? I read one time in this good book, it says that there is a safety in a multitude of counsel.
Yes, that's right.
So I realized I want to be successful and I need to get help.
Yeah.
We take care of everything else. When you're after a while in your house, you go through some home renovations. You know what I'm saying? Y'all experience some cool stuff with that.
Right.
Like that's what you do. Your car, after a while, you get the oil change, you take care of the brakes.
Right.
My wife is the most precious thing that I have.
Yeah.
Our union is our most important investment.
Right.
I have to take care of it.
Wow.
So I had to humble myself. And realize, all right now, Jeremy, you failed significantly when you were young because you wanted to be all big and bad by yourself. And you experienced high levels of success when you got the help. Humble yourself and get the help.
Get the help.
And so
make
we
this
met
marriage
with
work.
and make this marriage work.
Yeah.
And different counselors helped us in different seasons of our life.
That's awesome.
And we just told ourselves, we're not gonna quit, we're not gonna give up, we're gonna figure this out.
Do that.
And now we're on the other side.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I happen to know Tracy, so I know she's pretty fabulous.
Yes.
And she's worth fighting for.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Anybody that you say I do to, you said it for a reason.
That's
you know,
it.
tapping back into that is important.
That's it.
You know, we talk about mental health, we talk about substance abuse, abusing things, my body, my mental state, all of these things. I know that that has been a big part of some of the books that you've written. To date, you have how many books?
7. Just finished my 7th moment.
Right.
Yep, our 7th book.
How many of us can really say that we've written 7 books? But you know, in the books that I've read of yours, you talk about how substance abuse played a big part in your failures. And how those things have actually been the thing that brings you to spaces like this to speak.
Right.
Tell me about that.
So I went through a lot of ups and downs. When I go to schools, I can only share so much of my story because it is like an epic.
It's X-rated.
Yeah, it is like an epic series. And they probably only ready for like season 2 and maybe season 5. But there was a lot in between. And so even in adulthood, I struggled a lot with drug and alcohol abuse. I was smoking a pack of Newports a day. I was constantly getting high. I would get off of work and on the way home, I'm smoking weed. I would fall asleep to the bottle. I was just in such a dark place because there was like a hole in my heart. I was stressed out. I was burnt out, I was tired, I was frustrated. I didn't have that sense of purpose. And I found my purpose in that. And then when I hit the reset button in life and I kicked that habit, everything changed.
Really?
Here's the weird part. People, whenever I do like programs, like drug rehab programs, people say, did you go to AA meetings? Or did you use the patch? Because
that's what I was gonna say.
A pack of cigarettes a day, that's a lot of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? But so how do I go from smoking 20 to none? I took it one day at a time. There was no AA meetings, there was no patch, there was no extra. I just literally told myself, I'm stressed out over the next week, month, just today. Let me value and honor my body today. Let me take care of my temple today.
My temple,
That's it. Let me just honor that today. Tomorrow, I'll worry about tomorrow. So when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, I got the victory last night. I'm gonna win today. A lot of praying, a lot of reading, a lot of fasting. And then by the end of the night, I'm like, that's it. I will end on a high note. I will find something inspirational to read or watch because I have to keep pouring into that spirit. And then I will say, okay, I won the day. And I wake up the next day. And after wild days turned to weeks, turned to months, and now it's been over 10 years and haven't touched any of it and don't even think about it.
Don't think about it.
Unless I'm telling people how I overcame it. But the brain is powerful. So I had to tell my boys, I'm not just not saying I'm not gonna do this no more. Now I will say, I don't do it.
I don't do it. Yeah.
Because it's one thing if I say, I'm gonna try to stop. I'm like, no, I don't get high no more.
That's it.
No, I don't drink anymore. I'm not gonna try to. I don't do that no more.
I don't do it. Yeah.
I had to go through a season of isolation. That was painful. How come you don't come around? How come you don't? I'm like, because I put myself in a vulnerable space and I gotta make sure I keep myself clear. So all of that failure in school, I got left back in the 7th grade.
Wow.
Then I changed my grades in 9th grade. I went to 3 different schools for 9th grade.
Oakwood, 3 different high schools?
Yes, Oakwood. They kicked me out, went to Johnson High, completely failed, then went to Huntsville High. A lot of people don't know, when I was at Huntsville High, I should have been in the 11th grade, I was still taking freshman courses.
Really?
But I finally connected with a group of teachers who poured into me. All that failure turned around. So now, all that failure, all that pain, I fell forward into my destiny.
Into your destiny.
Now I stand before people.
I know. And in auditoriums, and speaking to children, speaking to individuals that are in rehab, speaking to individuals that have been lost. And you talked about individuals really surrounding you. I know that, we both went to college with Eric Thomas. It's a great friend of yours. Was he somebody that was really there mentoring you and helping you through those? Because you talked about motivational speaking. Instantly, I hear E.T.'s voice.
He's that guy. He's that guy, yes, for sure.
But when you watch things like that, how are those individuals, not just him, but a myriad of individuals who were influential in your life?
So I just spoke at a conference with our alma mater with Mason and E.T. Mason West, the third, who was like a mental ninja. He is a ninja. So smart, right?
He's smarter he's way smarter than me. I remember he taught us in high school.
Yes.
And he'd be like, and the galaxies and this, and I would just be like, I don't know.
Like, huh? Like, okay, like, you're way too deep.
Yeah, he was.
But him and Eric Thomas, Dr. Thomas, now E.T. the hip hop preacher.
Yes.
We did an event together, and it was so crazy to be there with these guys. I was like, man, y'all used to be our teachers. Like, y'all were at our school. I mean, now to be on stage with you all is pretty phenomenal. But no, they had a profound impact. Now, here's the reality: is when I was going through my process, I knew better. And he was like, whenever you're ready to get your life together. And when I finally got it together, I called him. I said, I'm ready. I'm back. Our conversation literally was not even a minute.
That's amazing.
I was like, I'm back. I've been wilding. He's like, yep. I was like, but I'm back and I'm ready. He was like, okay, this is a good time to connect with me. And ever since then, we've been connected just like that. You know what I'm saying? Jules, Godfather, like my mentor in the game. I had to get myself right. move forward.
I'm ready to do this.
That's
I'm ready
it.
to move forward.
That's it.
So who's cheering today? I know that you are an international speaker.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you're actually in the United States.
Right,
I'm gonna say we're
right.
in the United States
Right,
today.
right.
Because you travel so much with your gift. What can we see coming forward from you? I would love to be able to always continue to follow you and to follow your report, because I know it's going to always change.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is life's journey.
Yeah. For a long time, my life was like this.
Yeah.
Now it's like this.
That's amazing.
The Ambition Planner was mindfully curated for the ambitious woman of faith. As a CEO and founder of multiple companies, from a forensic marketing agency to a tech company, my days and schedule are full. As a woman of faith, it was very, very important to me to be able to find a planner that encompassed all of the things that I was looking for. Starting my day spiritually centered, being able to think about the things that I was grateful for in a culturally inclusive planner, I just could not find it. So I created the Ambition Planner. Our mission is to empower women of faith by organizing their day with a planner that offers spiritual guidance, boosts productivity, and helps identify and obtain their daily goals. The purpose of the Ambition Planner is to provide a sacred space for women to plan their day, set their goals and intentions while staying spiritually centered and productivity driven. The Ambition Planner's vision is to become every woman's most valuable productivity resource. Purchase the Ambition Planner at theambitionplanner.com. There, you'll be able to pick your planner, your cover, and the best thing is our planners are broken down into quarters. Therefore, quarter 3 is just around the corner. Again, for more information, visit our website at theambitionplanner.com and start on your ambitious journey today.
So I've had to be at peace with those moments there. And so I will say, people ask me, what does the future look like? I've got on a mission now to get all of our curriculum in schools all across America. We have a PBIS and aligned with social emotional learning curriculum. It's like a character curriculum.
Wow.
So math, science, English, history, all of that's great.
Right.
But we need something that helps the heart of these kids to stop the cutting, to stop the dropping out, the opioid abuse, the shooting of the schools. Like there's something in the heart of Americans and kids across the country that's hurting. So our social emotional learning curriculum focuses on their character. Wow. And so I've been all over to Australia several times, South Africa, India, like I get to do all of that. But when I'm working in the schools, like our mission now is to take that even further and across the globe.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tracy's written on that somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because here's the thing, right? I realize it takes a team.
It does.
And so I am where I am today because I have a wife that's so smart, that's so talented, that's willing to sacrifice and put that work in. And we support each other. That's awesome. And we're opposites. Like we are so different. Like we have maybe 2-3 things in common. But we work together. We compromise. We try to outserve and outlove each other. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be selfless. She tries to be selfless, and it works. And we have one common mission. And so we're like a team, like a football team. I'm on offense, obviously. I'm trying to score. But then there's times when she's on defense. And so there are times I'm like, man, stop playing defense, but I'm a scorer. But in order for a team to really win, you got to have a strong defense and a strong offense.
And for people to honor the game, right? If you just had if you had 1 million points to 3, people would be like, well, you got to play somebody.
That's
you know what I mean? You've met your match.
That's
met your match.
That's
amazing.
And so it works.
So you have a curriculum coming out. You can follow you on Instagram at the one Jeremy Anderson.
One Jeremy Anderson. You got it.
I love that. And then anything that you have coming up, we can find your curriculum. New book. Are we looking at number 8?
So I am working on the number 8 book. I really want a book that can speak even more closely to students. It's not necessarily a curriculum, but one that they can have on their own. Because parents are trying to figure out, can you mentor my kid? Can you help them? So I'm thinking of like the top 50 principles of life. So I think that'll probably be my next book. So when people go to my website, they'll see all about our curriculums that we have in schools. It's K through 12. They'll see about all the different books and the value that we're adding. But my mental now, I was doing a lot of corporate work, still do it. A lot of faith-based work, still do it, nonprofits. But our big focus now is schools and universities, helping them go to that next level because they're struggling. And so I took all my failure and I said, hey, y'all ain't the only ones failing.
No.
I failed a lot too, but I got up, I wiped my tears away, I dust myself off, and I kept fighting. And I honor those who came before me. I humbled myself. I kept reading, I kept growing, I kept learning, and I dared to believe. That's the number one challenge that most people don't have today is they don't believe. They feel like, well, maybe. I'm like, no, you can have it. You can accomplish this. You can experience great things if you're willing to put the work in and believe.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to challenge that mentality that's like, can I or can I not? I'm like, absolutely you can.
Yeah.
If you put the work in and you believe.
You can really do it. You know, and sometimes we think that plagues children, students, plagues adults as well.
What?
It plagues us as well.
I was just talking to someone today that's interested in going into real estate or business. But she's like, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, you can do it.
You can do
Everyday
it.
people, one of my good friends, Jamal, his brother was a police officer for 20 years, retired. But while he retired, started 3 multi-million-dollar businesses.
Just like that.
And never quit. He could have been quit after year 5 and was like, shoot, I'm making money. But he stayed faithful to the commitment he made.
Yeah.
So it's possible if we believe.
If we believe.
That's
if
it.
we believe. Well, I have to wrap up, but I have some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
This gets people just to get to know a little bit more about you.
I love it.
First things that come to mind, complete top of mind, describe yourself in 3 words.
Loving, passionate, caring.
Caring,
Sorry,
there you go. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning person.
Morning person. First thing you do when you get up?
Pray.
Pray. Love that. Love that. What is your favorite book?
The Word of God.
That's it. Amen.
I wish I could give you 5 though. I'm an avid reader, but I'll stop right there.
I would just give you that. That's top.
Yeah.
If you could have any food right now, what would it be?
Probably Donato's veggie pizza.
Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna be specific.
Very specific. Yeah. Veggie pizza.
Donato's, cut the squares. Not slices.
I
need the squares.
Yes. Right. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Absolutely.
What? Yes.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Ooh, if I had to choose out all of them, I'd have to say Superman.
Superman.
The fact that he can fly so fast, then he can pierce you with fire.
With
yeah. Then he can blow cold, and he's super strong. Like, I love Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? I love Batman, all those are cool. Spider-Man, Superman, ain't nobody, he got the juice.
He's got the juice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because I can run fast from kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? What if he brings kryptonite? It's not that deep. I just run away. I blow it out your hand. I burn your hand out. You dropped it. Right.
No brainer.
Yeah.
What are you watching right now? You're about to get on a flight. What are you going to be watching?
Homeland.
Homeland. That's your show.
That's my show.
Who do you admire the most?
My wife.
Awesome. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how cool are you?
I'm a 9.
A 9 all day.
I'm a 9 all day. I'm a 9. Yeah, I'm a 9.
Jeremy, I appreciate this time so much.
Thank you.
You have been such an honor to get to speak
I'm honored to be on here.
this show. I've known you forever, but just really being able to sit down with you just these few minutes and being able to get to know you on another level, it's been an honor.
Awesome.
So thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having
I appreciate
me.
it.
This
Absolutely.
is great.
Thank you.
Thank you to those who sponsored and supported this episode. And the biggest thank you to Sophia Mobley Photography and Videography for being the dopest producer, sound engineer, and editor in the land. Please like, share, and subscribe at The Failure Report on YouTube, Facebook, Facebook Watch, Instagram, IGTV, and on Twitter at Report Failure since The Failure Report was taken. You can listen on Spotify, iTunes Podcasts, or wherever you consume content. To get notifications on our upcoming episodes, please visit our website at thefailurereport.org. There you can subscribe to become a fellow failure and get access to our blog and merchandise. We have things like mugs, t-shirts, notepads, all the things. I'm Dion Stokes. Thanks so much for listening.